Okay, how do we look? I think 12 minutes on the clock. Can people hear me? Ah, should be working. Good to see you. It's I know it's a bit of a funky time for everyone. I'm gonna bring in Chris and Yannick in a second, and we'll see if we can hear them. But I'll be back in a minute, okay? But I'm glad that we managed to get things started. It's gonna be a fun one. All right, see you soon. Hey, guys, can you hear me? Chris, Yannick. Yay. Okay, hang on. You're not coming through yet. Let me figure that out. We'll be back in a sec. Because it doesn't seem like Chris and Yannick are being heard. One sec, bye.
Sweater that Chris actually has. I don't know if he bought it or if he just got it. Chris.
Yes, I'm here now.
That sweater or hoodie of yours or whatever, did you buy it or where did you get that?
You can just talk, yes, of course.
Yes, we can.
So yeah.
Okay, now I'm checking with Yannick and Chris. Hello.
Yep.
Okay,
Hi, chat. How are you doing?
seems to work. I see the
Does it work?
sound.
Can I hear everyone? Can I hear all? Okay, I have to mute the stream now because otherwise I hear all our voices.
Yeah, I can't hear Ella though. So
I was
The
not
text to voice doesn't work.
here. Okay, we're good. We got 3 voices now. Box ticked. We'll see you in 6 minutes and 50 seconds, everyone. All right. Bye. Okay, seems to be working. Hello, everyone. Welcome to State of the Game number 152. Looks a little different because we're at home. Welcome to my house. I managed to get Chris and Yannick on the line, so we will make sure that we get them in here. Obviously, we're working from home as a bit of a preemptive measure for what's going on right now. Massive have put a statement out on the website if you want to learn more about what our stance on that is and what everyone at Massive is doing. But we are staying safe, like everyone is seeming to do, which is great. So make sure you stay safe, and I hope everyone's doing okay out there, and yeah, you're all taking care of each other. Actually, we'll talk a bit more about that later, but I've been so happy to see how the whole community is supporting each other. So Safe House Unlocked. Yes, Scottish Whiff. We do want to make sure that these weekly streams continue as best we can, so hopefully today goes smoothly, and we can make sure that this is something that we can do in the coming weeks as well. I'm using my personal computer at the moment, and it seems to be holding up okay, but we will see. Okay, let me just see if I have the other guys on the line. Chris, Yannick, hi.
Yep.
Hello. How are you guys?
Great, thank you. How are you guys doing? For the people at home, Yannick doesn't have a webcam, which I realize is now just a ruse so he can use his professional headshot.
It's just because I don't look as good as my picture right now, so I'd rather that you focus on that very professional, good picture rather than seeing my actual face.
Yeah, I didn't have a picture, so you have to deal with this. That's fine.
So fancy. So fancy. There may also be some.
It's really freaky for people to watch the stream and hear me talk and see a still picture that doesn't move.
You should have done the South Park thing where you move his mouth, Hamish, so it would at least look like he's Canadian or something.
We actually did, when we were setting up the stream before, have Yannick's picture zoomed in, so it was like this. That was really good. But we'll leave it at that. But Yannick's still here, which is nice.
Yes.
All right, let's kick the show off with the things that everyone wants to talk about. There's obviously ongoing fixes and updates and things to the recently released content. Chris, where can we start with that?
Yeah, so first off, we had maintenance yesterday, and we changed a bunch of things. So if you haven't missed that, obviously look always on the forums. We do post the maintenance notifications there. And as we're currently trying to test everything and bring it out, please make sure that you keep doing that as well, like check back on the forum threads, because we continuously update them. For example, yesterday we also changed that infinite loading for the DZ happening. So that should be fixed now. But we only were able to verify that pre-late during the maintenance, so it didn't get included into the maintenance notes at first, but it's now in. So that's really important for us that you constantly check back, and then obviously poke us as well if you have any questions. Additionally, we fixed a couple of things, like the specialization points, for example, for the shade level ups we're only giving 1 point, and now they're giving 3 points. I talked to Nikki earlier, and he also said that for leveling up, they're still not high enough, so we're going to fix that as well in an upcoming update, but they should be better now. And then additionally, we had some things like blue quality items dropping from NPCs in the Dark Zone. That was not intended. We changed that. And a couple of other things, including the changes for the hunters, where they were dropping more keys than intended. And I saw some negative comments about this, saying like, oh, you guys changed it because we got too many keys and whatever. I want to give a little bit more context, because I think we missed out on explaining that very well. We had players that were not able to progress in the hunter encounters anymore, so they wouldn't be able to do anything else because they had too many keys. And this fix now also changes that, so that you can continue hunting those puzzles.
Okay. All right. And I guess that's all the top level stuff. Yannick, is there anything you think is super critical in that regard as well?
Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments in chat of people guessing if I'm actually naked at home. No, I'm not.
Well, you don't know if I'm wearing
clothes.
pants. Chris could not be wearing pants.
Yeah, you would never know.
Who knows? Yeah,
that's why I don't get up.
I
we'll
think
also,
we're probably going to talk about it, but there's a few definitely a few issues that have appeared recently that we want to look at, especially with seasons. So I don't know if we have that later or if we want to talk about it now, but I'm thinking especially right now the season progression reset, which is definitely one of those things that we need to that we're investigating very heavily. It's a very high priority for us.
I think it's worth talking about now. I mean, while everyone's here and paying attention, let's go a little bit further on that.
Yes. So what happened is on Tuesday morning for us, we had the scheduler change where the activities changed for the season. That's the time where actually everything changes in our game, vendor stock, invasion, and all these kind of things. And it seems to be, that's part of the investigation we're doing right now, but it seems to be that all the players that were actually online when that happened got their season progression reset. And if you're one of those players, if you're a player that actually was online when that happened and your season progression did not reset, please do let us know, because that's at least one of the scenarios we're working with at the moment. But yeah, if you were online, it looks like your season progression was reset and sent back to 0. We have a few, we have some ideas on what actually happened, and we're working with all of those, trying to repro and make sure that we are catching all the glitches that actually made that happen. So that's the first part, and of course the second part is trying to see if we can restore the progression of those who lost it. So this is all
Okay.
still work in progress and under investigation at the moment. So unfortunately, at the moment, I can't say if we are going to, or when we are going to be able to fix it, and if we're going to be able to give the progression back. But that's definitely what we're aiming for.
Okay.
Yep.
Thanks for the update.
I also want to add, we have a couple of other things, and I saw some comments here as well that we are investigating and working on. Obviously, one thing that I want to also make clear is that some fixes are just quicker. We can just like change some values, for example, on something much more quickly than actually finding a issue. For example, I know that the talents on gear sets and these kind of things have been super annoying, and we know that as well because we play the game, and our striker set sometimes doesn't work properly. These kind of fixes, we have to find the reason why it's happening and what's happening with it, and then we have to implement the change and test it and make sure that it doesn't break more things. So there are a couple of things that we are looking at, and I think one thing that we can make sure is like we will continuously update you on all these things. Like I saw like Dark Zone FPS, for example, on the extraction sites. That's something that we're looking into as well. And these are also different teams, right? Like we don't have the same guys looking at talents as they're looking at FPS situation and stuff like that. So what we're going to do later on today, after state of the game, we'll have a forum post where we're checking up all the issues that we're looking at with high priority, and also give you a little bit of a timeline of when that's to be expected. Keep in mind that with all the circumstances, obviously we will try to continue as agile and quickly as possible, but we also have to wait for, again, the fixes to be tested and all that stuff. So we keep you updated, but it will take some time to fix everything that you guys have been brought up. So just because we don't mention it every time, we definitely see them.
Okay. One of the things that I've seen a lot of people talking about is difficulty and those sorts of things. Can we say where we're at with that right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we talked about it already last week with Drew, and I think we've said last week that we're not happy, we're not satisfied with where we're at the moment with difficulty, especially some cases, some outlying cases that are definitely not where we want to be. And in general, I think what we can say is that we like that the game is challenging. We like that there is difficulty and that it means something, but going from one difficulty to the next difficulty feels different. That's where we want to be, and we're pretty happy about that. What we don't like is, sponginess that feels really unnecessary and feels very arbitrary is something that we are never happy with. Especially when it comes in the way of fun, where it feels like it's taking away from your fun and just becoming frustrating and boring. That's not where the game shines the most. So we want to make sure that our game doesn't end up there. And what we also don't like is unfair. What we call time to be killed. So the times where, or the time it takes for an NPC to kill you. While we do like that the NPC can be lethal, we don't really like when they're when they can kill you without you even understanding what's going on. Usually one rule of thumb is that if you die, if you get caught by surprise by an NPC, you should always have a chance to react. It might be a very small chance, but you should always have a chance to react. If you get caught by surprise by an NPC and you instantly die, that's not fun. And that's something we also want to address. So these are the main things that are very important for us to try to improve on. So what we are basically going to do, or what we're working on at the moment, is a general pass that's going to be deployed as soon as possible. And what we're going to do there, or what our ambition is, one, it's to reduce the lethality of the NPCs. So it's basically reducing the damage of the NPCs. The second one is going to be address the sponginess, especially in groups, and even more for 4 players, because we have a group scaler, and so the more players you are, the tougher the NPCs get. And for 4 players, 3 and 4 players, sometimes it can become ridiculous, and that's something we want to address. And then the final thing we also want to address is the difficulty jump between the different activity difficulties, especially between hard and challenge, where we feel that the jump is a bit too intense. So especially for solo players, when you start feeling comfortable in hard mode and you go in challenge and you get completely destroyed, it can feel also that this is a bit too much of a gap. So this is also something to address.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
sorry, everyone. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Chris?
Go ahead.
I was going to say apologies. My cat's kind of wanting to get on camera for whatever reason. Sorry about that.
Yeah, and I just want to also reiterate, this is something that we want to get out as early as possible. So we don't want to wait for anything like that. We have to just get it uploaded and good to go. And I also want to say this will affect different players differently. Like if you play solo, for example, there will be some changes as well for you. But additionally, especially for groups, we're seeing, as Yannick says, lots of spikes in challenge when you just add more players, and that's not the intention. We don't want you to necessarily have to play solo to have a good time.
Yeah.
And then additionally, I also want to add that we also seen complaints about World Tier 1 and to World Tier 5 and all that stuff. We also have changes for that, so that it's not as punishing to go first of all through World Tiers, but also then at World Tier 5 we know that that's currently not at the level that it should be. And there are also going to be changes for players that haven't bought the expansion and are still enjoying Washington, and we don't want this to be a terrible experience either. So there's also changes coming with that.
Okay.
So yeah, I
That's really
think
good.
what this is going to result in. So there's the reason why I'm not going in details on what we're actually doing is that there's a lot of levers that we have to play with. There's a lot of different scalers that come into play in our game. There's the scaler that changes, the health and damage of the NPCs depending on, if they are red bar, purple bar, yellow bar. There's the scaler that changes depending on the group size. There's the scaler that changes depending on difficulty. And then also depending on difficulty, we also upgrade the NPCs. So there's a lot of things that come into play, and we are using each of those to try to come with a general package that should feel nice, where the progression between difficulty should feel a bit smoother, and the group scaling should not feel as intense.
Hacksmith employees does it take to change a light bulb?
Okay, very good. We did talk about the seasons issues before we really talked about what the seasons are. There are a bunch of people who probably haven't even tried them out yet. Can we just kind of give some people some context about what the seasons are? Actually, I have a video of the UI that explains that whole thing. So let's actually just chat over that, if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, season 1, Shadow Tide is now currently live. It went live last week. And the Manhunt target is also ready to get done with the first one. It's Neptune. And just as it flows in nicely here as well, we are looking into changes for the Manhunt in general. But we get back to that, I think, after the league review here. So the second season event has started. It's the league, the West Side League. And in the league, you can see that there's several different UI elements that you can click into and find more challenges and find different targets to do. This is a little different from the Manhunt that we saw first, because this actually has several challenges. We have speedrunning, as people are calling it, or time challenges that are on challenging missions. But then there's also targets for example for killing enemies with fire and all that stuff, and these activities all contribute to your league level, which is even separate from your season level, so there's more rewards to be earned. And one thing that I thought was also very important, and Yannick can probably talk to that as well, is that the from week to week for the league, the level resets so that you can, sorry, not the level, but the the challenges reset so that you can do them again, and you get more levels through that. So you don't have to necessarily do all of the things at the hardest difficulty or the quickest time to get progress, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's very important to mention actually, because we've seen people, or I've seen people commenting on the fact that some of the, the rank 10 challenges are just way too hard or too complicated. So it's really important for everyone to know that at the end of the week, your ranks in each of the challenges is going to be reset, but therefore the total progression in the league is going to remain. So what that means is if you want to reach the 60 ranks in order to get all the rewards, you don't have to actually make it to the maximum rank of every challenge. You can do, in between the 2 weeks, you can do basically half of them. So you can do 30 ranks in the first week and then another 30 by redoing the same thing. So if you're one of the players that is unable to beat, challenging mission in 16 or 14 minutes, I think is the lowest, that's fine. You can just try to make it as far as you can. And then the following week, you can redo that and you're going to be credited again for your achievement.
Okay, very cool. So next week, what do we have going on?
Yes, next week, the first global event will start, and I think this will be a lot of fun for a lot of people. It's Polarity Switch. We showed that, I think, 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago on State of the Game. So it's about shocking enemies and not being shocked yourself. So the polarity basically works the same as you might have known it from the Division 1, where you have enemies that have different polarities. So there will be a indicator on top of the enemies to show you which polarity they have, and then also you have a polarity. So if you shoot an NPC with a different polarity, that will allow you to basically change the polarity as well. But then the important thing is that if you continue to shoot enemies that have the same polarity, I should start with that, you do more damage. So you can stack that a lot of times. And then make things easier once you master it as well. So for example, for the league, if you're very good with a global event, you can even run faster times by using the global event and the polarity switches. And if you fail, then obviously you'll get shocked by shooting things that are not the same polarity. So you have to be a little bit careful and you have to get used to it. And there will be challenges that are bound to the global difficulty, the global events. But the cool thing about, I think, the global events as well, that is you can opt in and out. So you can start and try playing with it and see if you like it. And then if it's not your style, or if you want to wait for friends for the weekend to play with you, you can also opt out again and just play normal. So there's no need for you to engage with that.
Right. Very nice. I think we showed some video footage of it in a previous stream. And if you want to go back and take a look at that, it was a few State of the Games ago. So there's some cool footage there. I think it stacks 5 times or something. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, and I saw people saying like, "Oh, but this hasn't started." I think for us, it's important that you as a player know what's happening in the game, not only this week, but also next week. So the league is a 2-week event, so you have some time to play it and get the reward levels. The global event will be only 1 week, so if you want to participate in that and want to do the challenges, for example, and get the rewards that are available for the global events, you should know about it, because otherwise, if you log in too late, you might be upset with yourself because you can't do all of these things. So while I understand it's not started yet, more details will be following obviously when it's live, and you can also see some of the UI elements already in the game, but it's important for us to keep you guys informed as well.
Okay, very cool. I do want to move on to the next thing, which came out yesterday. So Stadia now has Division 2 available on it, which is really cool. And it has crossplay with PC. I mean, I guess Stadia is kind of PC, but there are PCs elsewhere in the world and all that sort of stuff, but really, really cool. I don't know if anyone in chat is using Stadia, but I would be excited to hear if you are. We have I'm going to show you this picture, which I think is really cool. So this is a shot of the cross-progression stuff. Have either of you guys tried out the Stadia version of the game?
So I'm looking forward to it. I have not yet had the chance to get it and get it working. But I know that, for example, our CM, Giuseppe, also is a big fan. So we're going to set it up and play some on the weekend, if we can. And the second thing that you have a screenshot of as well is what I think makes it really cool, which is the Stream Connect.
Yeah, no, I just pulled that up. It's pretty cool to be able to see exactly what your teammates are doing. nice.
Yeah.
To see their point of view as well. I really like that. So
I think
if anyone wants
it's
to
also
check
like
it out-
for like for multiplayer game like this, where you can then also see like what angles you can take and what they're taking and all that stuff is really nice. Just it's mostly quality of life, I want to say, but for me, I think it's one of those things that I'm going to really enjoy, just because I can peek at what my teammates are doing.
really cool.
So some people are just asking, just to clarify, when we say cross-play, it also means cross-save or
Yes.
cross-progression.
Yeah.
So that means if you own the game on PC and on Stadia, then you can actually link the two versions together, and you can keep the progression between the two of them. So you can play on your PC on the PC version, and then you can switch to another screen and play with the Stadia. And you're going to keep your progression in your character.
Very cool. There's also the other promotion that I'm excited about. I think it's in game already. The
It is.
fancy new hat. You guys have seen that as well, right?
Well, I
I'm
have
just,
seen it because I had to
yeah.
post it yesterday.
Oh yeah, I'm actually waiting to see if we get some IRL versions of this hat from Jacob, because I need a new hat. I would like that. Yeah, so I've just pulled it up on screen now. In game, it does still have the sticker in game though. How do you guys feel about that?
Yes, and you can't peel it off.
It's a matter of taste, right? So, but apparently in the game we dictate that you're one of those people that keep the sticker.
Yeah, I mean,
Forever.
fair enough. Extra shine. You could use it to blind your enemies.
Exactly.
Maybe. Exactly. Unfortunately, that size of New Era hat doesn't fit my fat head. But
Oh, really?
You know,
There's different
yeah.
sizes on that?
well, I think that's a 940 or something. I think I have to have like the 950, which is like the bigger,
Oh.
stupid
I'm-
head
I'm-
one.
I'm glad that we started the debate in chat on whether or not you should keep the sticker. So it's like sticker on, sticker off. As I said,
Important
it's a matter
stuff.
of taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When are we seeing new apparel sets in games also asked, and I think it's a good segue. So we have an apparel event coming. It's called Urban Jungle, and you can see the dates and everything in the season UI. So the apparel events are now tied to the seasons. And I know that I think currently it says something about it has expired 2,500 days ago. We're going to fix that. But I think it's in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It will start in 2 weeks.
Very cool. There are some
so-
agent highlights today, but we'll, I think, take a few moments to just hang out with chat, and if you guys see any
Yep.
questions, we should answer those.
I wanted to ask Chris, do you want to give because I see a lot of people are asking us about fixes and everything. So do you want to give a bit of a preview of some of the things we talk about in the forum post that's going to come later?
Yeah, sure. We
Please.
can definitely talk about that. So again, for us, it's important that we are working on these things, but they will take some time, depending on what the fix is and how difficult it is to explain, to implement, and stuff like that. And then additionally, we also need to test them, right? So keep in mind that we will keep you updated on everything, but some of the fixes that I'm reading out now will be, part of the next update. If they are verified and they go in, then they go in. But as I said at the beginning of the show, always check up on the maintenance timers, the maintenance forum posts, because we will update what actually is going into the patch and stuff like that. So some minor things I'm going to take out first. So for example, we know that people have Target Intel still in their mailbox, and Target Intel doesn't exist anymore. So that's going to go out. And then we know that the sticky bomb doesn't do damage. That's going to be fixed under certain circumstances, I should say. So it does damage, but not every time. I just talked about the apparel event schedules. That's going to be fixed. And then there's a couple of UI things that we're also changing. But again, that's more on the quality of life side of things. So I saw a couple of questions about control points and seasonal manhunt and all that stuff. So I think Yannick can give us an update on that as well once I talked about this here, what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So the current iteration of how it was before we disabled the reset of the manhunt was that if you changed your global difficulty, it would reset your manhunt progress. There's also some other issues with manhunt progress resetting. We're going to fix those as well, but I want to talk about the global difficulty change and how that affected the progress. So in the next update, if we can, again, verify everything and get it done, there will be an extra UI button in the seasonal manhunt that will allow you to reset that specifically. So you can change your global difficulty as much as you want. You can change the directives as much as you want. It will not affect anymore what you're doing with your seasonal manhunt. So that will be one improvement. And then second of all, and I have to ask Yannick on that, I think we will also bring back that all the control, or not bring back, but bring it in, that all control points will be reset once you reset the global difficulty. I don't know if that goes into the same update though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also not sure if it's part of the same change, but yes, that's the intention. We want to give you back the ability to reset your control points, and so make sure that when you reset global difficulty, all the control points are reset with it. So that's something that we're working on.
Yeah, and then we also have so the hardwired gear set also has some issues. Backpack and the I think the backpack talent is the only one, the hardwired. I'm not 100%. But basically, the gear set, we have a fix for that going out with the next update as well. I know that there's Striker, for example, that we also are looking into, and we're trying to fix as soon as possible. But that's not quite ready yet, but we're working on it. And then I also know for PvP, the tip of spear giving spec ammo, that's also something that we're working on, but it's not quite ready on that either. Let's go down the list. So as Yannick said, we are looking at the levers for the balancing. So NPC health, NPC armor, NPC damage. That's all something that will likely go out with the next update that we're doing. So again, that should help with the difficulty and the way that enemies feel a little bit too tanky. So that's the intention of that. And that also applies to the World Tier 1 to World Tier 5 content. Additionally, because I saw the question also in chat, yes, that also applies to the PvP changes that we talked about earlier. So we are going to reduce the weapon damage in general in PvP so that the time to kill goes up. So it's not as quick as it is now. And then we're also doing some adjustments for rifles and MMRs specifically so that those are brought down a little bit as well.
Nice.
The exact numbers will be posted later on as well.
Okay, that's really cool. Yannick, was there anything else you think we need to mention as it pertains to upcoming fixes? What else is on your radar?
No, I think we covered. Chris covered pretty much the big ones. I'm trying to read chat and see revive bug. People are asking about that, so this is also something we are looking at. All the issues where you cannot revive your teammates. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of discussion as well about exotics. Is that something that you guys are chatting about?
What is it about exotics specifically?
Just in terms of like their current standing in terms of balance, power, and that sort of thing.
I don't think the balance is really a big topic, at least for us at the moment. I think one of the discussion, of course, is the ability to upgrade exotic, which is something that we've discussed and we are looking at definitely. And also, where do you drop them and how do you acquire them is potentially something that we need to look at eventually. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Obviously, this game is having dynamic changes all the time, so please, community, do keep giving us feedback on these things because we need all of it. It all helps. Very, very cool.
I see also, sorry, before you continue, comment on hit registration. So this is something that we, and I know that I'm a little bit of a broken record here, but videos and exact locations, what you're playing and all these kind of things really help us. We have some things that we have found internally, but to give you like also like just the whole picture of this, right? So when we test things, we work off of reports most of the time, unless we are experiencing it ourselves. So what we need to do is we need to reproduce what you have been experiencing. So if you give us details or videos, that helps us a lot because then the teams here can do the exact same steps and see what results we have. So for the hit registration, again, we have seen the reports and we're looking into it. But if you have more videos, if you have more things that are not working outside of the Striker set, please let us know. Because Striker, definitely there's some issues and we're looking into this, but if there's different things, especially on the PvE side where shots are not registering, or if you feel that there's issues in certain activities, that's something that we really appreciate because obviously the game is large. It's a lot of things to do. So just give us as much detail as you can.
Okay.
If I can just go back on my statement on exotics, because I see some people reacting. I'm not saying that we say exotics are great and we don't want to change them. I'm just what I'm saying is that we are not really talking about it at the moment because we have other balancing priorities that we're prioritizing over that. So the whole difficulty stuff, some of the PvP outliers and all of that are things that have taken priority at the moment. We may want to look at the exotics overall at some point, but so again, I'm not disagreeing with the community, with people thinking that they are not great. I'm just saying that right now this hasn't been the priority we've been discussing.
Yeah, no, thanks for the clarity. All right, I want to take a quick look at the agent highlights that we have this week. I realize we're already at half an hour and my computer hasn't turned on fire yet, so that's nice. But we have this really cool piece of art I want to show you guys that should show up in a second. But that's really cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, I like it.
I particularly appreciate the lighting. That is dope.
Yeah, it's from Vectorec on Twitter. If you want to have a look at what they're doing, I like I'm gonna out myself. I'm not a huge fan of anime and manga style art normally, but I think this feels very nice. Like for me, it fits very well.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I really like it.
It looks very cool.
I know that you are though you're a dog guy, Chris.
Yes, I am.
So there you go. Doggo.
Cosplay.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Cute. Yeah. That's C4 aka Ramsey on Twitter as well. I need to have more looks at that. That looks really, really cute. I wonder if that's a self-made. I kind of want to have that now.
Yeah, I think I have a very similar harness for my puppers. So I'm going to try and put something on it. I think I have one of those Phoenix patches lying around somewhere. That could work.
Did you just offer to make one for me?
Maybe. I mean, if I have multiple patches, I could make it happen. We could do that. Yeah. But yeah, do go and follow those people over on Twitter. And also send through a lot of stuff. Bonus points to anyone who sends through like stuff during this quarantine time because it makes us really happy. And I think we all need a little bit of that in our timelines right now. It's very, very cool. But yeah, unless we have anything else that we need to cover, I've run to the end of my list of things to show.
No, I think we're good. Again, just as a reminder, we're posting on the forums like closely after the show is over. That has all the information about what we talked about today. And obviously, there's a recap that's normally happening a couple of hours after State of the Game has happened. But the forum post will go out very soon. So that's all the information about what we're working on, what are the things we're investigating. So if you have missed anything, or if I didn't mention something that you think is very important, have a look there. If it's not mentioned, again, please feel free to reach out to us at the Division Game on all the socials. Post in the forums, post on Reddit. And again, if you have details, that's always appreciated. And then as Hamish has said, like, because I also look at a lot of positive things and, things that you like and how you finish some things, that's also always appreciated. So please feel free to share that with us as well.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier in the stream, it's been awesome to see how supportive Division players have been of each other during this time. It's a little weird, being stuck in here and figuring out how to do streams from home and working from home, but we'll make it work. And maybe next time we'll confirm if we're wearing pants or not. I don't know. We'll see. Yannick's totally nude. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
I'm just laughing at all the comments about my non-blinking. So it's like, please stop the stream so I can finally blink. You think it's a still image, but it's actually me.
He's been trying really hard, guys. Like, just give Yannick a break.
Best ventriloquist ever.
T3 Feathers was asking, does anyone know the dog's name in Haven? I think, from my internal knowledge, that if there's a dog in the game, it's likely called Bronson.
It's called Interact.
It's called it's called Interact. Oh, that's so cute.
It's written right above it. How can you miss that?
Yeah, okay. It's called Interact. Did you not see? Wow. Yannick, so smart.
Yeah.
So smart. I can give you, as somebody who has a dog, as long as you have treats, they listen to any name you want them.
Yeah. Chris, I was going to ask you off stream, but I'll ask you now, I guess. Do you think we'll be able to get any gameplay streams up and running maybe during this time as well? There's a few of us, I guess, that could do it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically the main question, right? Like we want to hang out with you guys. We know that there's also the need for entertainment, and everybody has having a little bit more time working from home and watching Twitch and everything like that. So we look into what we can do. I think it also depends on what quality we do, and if you guys are happy with this little bit of a laid back, a little lower production level kind of thing, then I don't think there's any reason why we're not be doing it. There will be much more cat noises though if Hamish is doing it.
Sorry about it. My cat was standing on the laptop that has the Discord call, and everything's going to fall apart because she's standing on everything.
And for me, like my dog is currently sleeping under the bed, so you can't hear her, but you might hear her normally. So yeah, we're looking into what we can do in this situation. No promises yet, but now that we have Stadia, it's also a little easier to stream the game with a 6-year-old rig like mine. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool.
We're all figuring things out as we go, so it's a new situation for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we'll do what we can. If we can't get all our streams out or various bits of content out, we still will be creative about how we can get content out to everyone and make sure that everyone knows what's going on. Because
one thing I just want to also say, like, because I saw a comment about matchmaking, we made some changes yesterday as well. And from a look today, and we kept asking people on the forums as well, we didn't see any more comments that it's not working or that it's very slow. So if you have encountering any matchmaking issues where it's like slow for certain activities and whatever, again, give us details what you're doing. What are you queuing for? Are you in a group and waiting for one more, or are you a solo player queuing? Then we can look into that further. But from what we can see, it is all now back to normal.
All right, fantastic. Well, we managed to do State of the Game from home. So thanks, Chris and Yannick, for joining. We got it done. Proud of y'all.
Good job on putting this together.
Yes, well done, Hamish.
It kind of works. But I see no reason why we can't be back next week. Obviously, we'll keep you posted on Twitter and that sort of thing about what's going on. For now, stay safe, wash your hands, play games, and take care of yourselves, everyone.
Yes, stay home and play video games. That's the best excuse you could have to actually stay home and play video games.
Exactly.
There you go. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you again real soon, okay? All right.
See you guys.
See you.
Bye.